Hey there, YouTube. It's Kurt here. Today I'm going to talk about why we, the Yu-Gi-Oh players, are the problem. Now, what is the problem, you might ask? Well, I'm going to basically address several problems in Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, I think all these problems are relative, and they'll be relative to different people. So recently, for example, a lot of people have complained about Virtual World and VFD being in the format. Now, complaining about the format just seems to be a never-ending thing. I'm not bashing people that complain about the format because I do understand like game balance issue is like it's almost always an issue, and it does to a lesser degree it can prevent what otherwise would be a much more fun game into being a not so fun game, and I think that's the real issue for people. Like, yeah, there are other games out there, but like there's something unique to Yu-Gi-Oh that makes a certain dynamic of it a certain level of fun that other games cannot provide. So like when we have cards like VFD in the format, like there. I mean, endlessly. There's been VFD there since I've started playing Yu-Gi-Oh. There's been Sky Striker Engage. There's been Firewall Dragon. There's been just a lot of these degenerate cards that gives you free pluses and have really unfair attributes. But with the point I want to make about that, well, let's take another problem, for example. Let's take like player saltiness, like either online or in person. Like saltiness is a real big issue. Well, at our local scene, even saltiness became a really big issue, and part of that was because like the format actually was really toxic for a while. And I think when you have a toxic format, it'll kind of bring out the toxicity in players to a certain degree. And I'm actually playing a pretty toxic playstyle right now, but I'm not taking it seriously. What I want to say about all these things is that all of our problems are solvable by us as players. And what I mean that, like, in relation to the ban list, like, we're the, like, we can basically almost determine the ban list or make higher demands for the ban list if we want to. That's just a thing I don't think people realize. Like, if we demanded Konami would actually do a reasonable format, that we actually might result in a better format actually happening. And it seems like almost every set, like, Konami bans something just to release even more broken cards, and obviously that's an issue, but like it's an issue we put up with. Another issue is like card price. Like, if we as a player base decided that your servant shouldn't be $70, like whatever it is, it would not be $70. It's just cardboard. That's probably the number one thing we should realize. These cards are just cardboard, and they're being sold to us because we're money pigs. That's probably the best way to put this. We are money pigs, and if we don't realize that we are money pigs, we Konami can make money without making $80 cards, and we are just so stupid that we haven't realized this. So, like, I hope this is actually a very reasonable reasonable argument from me that we create a lot of these problems, and we don't really have to. Maybe this is semi-inspirational, I guess. Look at my deck. Like, if we wanted to address problems, like, this is a very much a problem card because it's a zero-cost floodgate that just auto wins against a very, very large portion of the metagame. But it's just, ever since its creation, they just let it slide. If we stopped going to competitive events and like a lot of major players said, hey, the problem is game balance, well, all of a sudden, like, that would probably be taken very, very seriously. But it's not taken seriously at all. And I can't blame Konami when we're just rewarding them for bad behavior. That's probably the best way to put it. If we keep rewarding them for bad behavior, well, bad behavior is just going to happen. So if we don't realize that as a player base, things are just not going to get better, and a lot of people probably could learn that a little bit more. But that's really all I have to say on that topic. Hopefully you guys enjoy this message overall. I might commentate on this now. So, Grand Maju, I actually control a Fiend now, so I can't really do anything. Boom. But Eater Millions is going to come in the clutch. Very, very slow control style. But, like, in a format where things are always changing, I like having a deck that pretty much performs well no matter what bullshit goes on. And that's what I like about Grand Maju in general. I mean, there's either the stun variants or there's the go second variant. Weirdly enough, the go second variant is just because VFD in the format is bad, and it's because of VFD, which is hilarious. Well, I mean, not so hilarious, but it's one of the reasons why like I just play a deck that just does not care whatever broken card comes in the meta. I can play hand traps, I can play Dimension Shifter, I can play Nibiru. So really, this is something I would not have allowed myself to play a couple of years ago because like because in my mind a couple of years ago this is the most toxic thing ever. But really, I realized the most toxic thing ever was a combination of the player base and and Konami. Konami can be very toxic, and when we play something that doesn't really get updated or depends on support cards, well, that just kind of helps to fix Konami's toxicity, because I don't really run anything from any set from the past year in this deck. I don't care about spending $100 to make it more optimal. Yeah, you just kind of take it as you see it. But I like doing more of these live videos. I do have a camera, but I haven't really set it up. I don't really have like a full like computer setup where I look really handsome in the computer screen. So I probably won't utilize that very much. But weirdly enough, this deck just loses to Dark Magician sometimes. And it's because Magical Circle is a thing. Banishing removal is actually really, really good. So we're attacking Judgment. That stonks. We're getting stonks. I probably should have Judgment Circle just because like that's a huge problem for this deck. Tikaboo. Tikaboo kind of blows. Well, I mean, this matchup's okay, but we got another Judgment. We should be able to pull this off. Well, it's like, as far as video editing too, I actually, well, like, it's not just that I don't like the editing process. I can edit videos just fine. It's just that, I think anything creative that's been done with a video editing side is hard for me to like really fill a void where somebody already hasn't taken care of that a lot. So boom. All cards that have gotten this got a gold reprint. I bought it for $6. All this old shit, stuff I want out of supers, old shit. This is new. I'm just experimenting with it as like we'll see if this would be optimal if it gets reprints. It might actually be the optimal play if it does get reprints. Boom. Necro Valley, hell of a card. That's the great thing about Necro Valley. Is it'll be good in a lot of formats. Necro Valley. Oh, you can't move things out of your graveyard? Crazy. Actually, right there, this probably isn't the most interesting matchup, so I'll just end the stream there. Thanks, you guys, for watching. I'll catch you soon.